Hello everybody, I am the Goofy Geek and welcome to my trailer breakdown of the new Pokemon Scarlet and Violet trailer that just came out yesterday. So let's take a look here and see what's going on in the world of Scarlet and Violet, and possibly go over a couple of other things that happened this week too. So starting off, the most important thing from this trailer so far is the fact that Slowbro is back. Yes, that's right. Slowbro is in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. And at least for me, that's very important because that's one of my favorite Pokemon. But for you all, it's very important as well because who doesn't love Slowbro? Now, let's take a actual look at this here. So the most important takeaways from this trailer are we now have information on the 3 different storylines. We know that on top of the Pokemon gyms that are a classic, they do have the gym challenges back as well. I'm kind of hoping we get some actual challenging challenges this time, but I'm not holding my breath. But yeah, who doesn't love the gyms? I'm very curious about this gentleman here, Brassius. I think he's going to be a nice change of pace in terms of the grass-type gym leaders, as they're usually all excited and as they're usually, kind of like a peace-loving plants kind of people. It's kind of nice to see that they are changing it up a little bit with Brassius, and I'm very, very amused by this pun. Yes, Pseudo-Woodo is now truly Woodo, and that is amazing. Yes, there's the storyline where you get to fight against Team Star Kid. Because that's totally where my mind went first when I read this. I'm very excited for the different squads, and I have a sneaking suspicion, because I know that in Pokemon they like to have people who specialize in different types. Like with Sun and Moon, we got all of the different trial captains, with one for each type. So it's cool to see that all types will be getting represented, even if they're not represented by a gym leader. And that's kind of a neat twist and way to do things. So you have Team Star. I like the idea that the team that you fight this time around is not just mwahaha evil, but it's kind of just, rebellious kids. And I think that that's kind of funny. This absolutely ridiculous vehicle is very interesting. I know that everyone is pointing out the eye in the middle of the motor, and I'm very curious to see where that goes. I'm kind of hoping it's just a new Pokemon and not the entire chariot, as it'd be cool to see the different, like an engine Pokemon that changes types depending on various factors. It'd be cool. Some sort of maybe steel, fire, even, and then maybe it can, I wonder if the engine is a steel type and then they terrestrialize it into whatever type the squad specializes in. That could be very interesting. And I'm very curious to see where they go with that. Assuming, of course, that we get an actual Pokemon out of the engine of this machine. I'm very curious to see how fighting the car goes. Something I didn't think I was going to say in a game of Pokemon. But yeah, no, I really want to fight that car. I wanted to fight a car. Oh, well. But Mella's design is awesome. I find it highly amusing that she and Guzma went to the same school of how to scream at the sky. The fire on the boots. That is absolutely awesome. I'm very curious to see where they go with her, as well as the rest of the team, because I think that's just really neat. Then you get to the Path of Legends, which I'm very curious about. With this whole Titans thing, I'm very interested, because we have had giant Pokemon in the past before, and it's kind of cool to see that this time they're actually giant Pokemon, not just big from Gigantamaxing or a little bigger because of like the alphas. Now these are true Titan-sized Pokemon, and that is very interesting. I'm curious to see where that goes. It kind of makes me think that they might be doing this instead of the usual like extra batch of legendaries that most Pokemon games have. Just have them be, cooler, crazier, regular Pokemon. Real quick, Cloth. What are you? I get what you are. You're a giant rock crab, and that's cool, but like, it's ugly. It's really ugly. It has Pikachu's cheeks. The eyes are absolutely nightmarish. The hair on the joints is weird, but at the same time, I kind of find him endearing. It's ugly. I love it. You know, that it's, oh my God. The one thing that is bothering me, those eyes should be round. Kind of surprised by it because it seemed fine on the smaller one. But yeah, Cloth. What a Pokemon. In fact, I would even say that he's pretty clawful. Because it's called the Path of Legends, I'm wondering if this is going to build to another legendary Pokemon, or possibly even more than one. I think it'd be very interesting if on top of the Titan, not just replacing the Titans, but on top of that, there's some sort of legendary Pokemon that is causing these Herba Mystica to grow. I think that that'd be a cool way to tie that in a bit. And then, of course, the gym challenge I think I already talked about. Gita's cool. I like Gita. I'm very curious to see where they go with her. I do think that she's going to be our effective champion that you would normally expect to see in a Pokemon game. I know they call her the chairwoman. I do think she's going to be either the final trainer that you fight in terms of their Elite Four and gaining your champion rank, or if they will perhaps achieve champion rank and then there's a competition of champions where she is the top. Because if she's considered the strongest Pokemon trainer around, if multiple people defeat her to become the champion, well, then she's no longer the strongest trainer. So I'm wondering if maybe you defeat the gyms, then go on to the Elite Four or whatever their version of it is, defeat that, and then you and a bunch of other characters in the story can then enter like a Champions League. Kind of like how they did with Sword and Shield with the All-Star Tournament, but different enough to make it interesting. The auto battle feature is very cool. I'm not quite sure how that's going to work in some situations, because won't that use the PP of your moves? Won't that mean that your Pokemon gets damaged? Will that make Nuzlocking this game terrifying? I very much want to know where that one's going to go, because that's something that we haven't really seen before, and it will make grinding through all the grunts much easier, or at least different or interesting. Oh, I just realized I never talked about Grafaiai and Cyclizar. They're both really cool. I like them a lot. I was a little surprised that Grafaiai is a regular Pokemon. To me, they kind of have a mythical vibe, especially the way they hyped him up in the trailer. Then again, they did the same for Zorua, so what do I know? But I like that they paint the trees. I think it would be really cool if in the game, Grafaiai were actually kind of hard to find, and then you're just walking along and you find a painted tree, then you follow the painted trees to get to Grafaiai. I think it'd be a really cool way to incorporate their story element into the mechanics of the game. Also a very cool Pokemon is Cyclizar. I am highly amused that it is also a running lizard, despite having what look like wheels. It's very clear that he also runs, and yet no one's giving him any flack for it. It seems only Koraidon takes the hits for that. But yeah, no, I do think he's cool. His ability is absolutely, whatever that ability, move, the tail thing, that lets him do the substitute, the shed tail. Yeah, that's going to be an interesting move to see how that plays out in competitive scenes. Not that I'm that into the competitive side of Pokemon. I mostly just build them. He's a very cool Pokemon. I'm actually a little disappointed that we won't get to ride one regularly and that we have Miraidon and Koraidon instead, because I actually like Cyclizar a little bit more than the two of them. But maybe that's just me. I love that it looks like you can have your whole team out for some reason or another. I'm hoping that's more than just a cutscene, because I think it'd be cool to be able to just send your team out and just kind of relax and watch them move around and interact, but not just in like a, oh, I've set up a tent to go camping setting. Yes. And then we get to these guys. Armor Rouge, which is a very funny name. Under Rouge! Ceruledge and Armor Rouge. They're both really cool. I like them a lot. They're a little ridiculous. I've never been one for a Pokemon that humanoid, but at the same time, Golly's cool, and I think that these two are going to grow on me eventually. I especially like Armor Rouge, but I like that the pauldrons, not only do they move to the arms to fire, they're not actually attached to their body. If you look closely, I'm pretty sure, and it could be an animation thing, but for them to be able to move like that, I'm pretty sure they're just psychically floating there, and that's something I get a big kick out of. And then Ceruledge, Ceruledge is such a better move with that Bitter Blade, but I love Ceruledge. Very like a Black Knight kind of feel. It's just very, very cool looking. I do kind of wish I was getting Violet just for Ceruledge Edge alone, just for Bitterblade alone. A fire type move that heals you, love it. But yeah, I think the games look really good. I'm very excited for them, and I can't wait to see what trailer comes out next. And I want to see these 3 evolve so badly. I need to know what they look like. I want the alligator to have floating arms so I could still call him a snake for the fire Chinese Zodiac. I want to know what Quaxly's final form looks like. And Sprigatito, do you stay on all 4s or do you stand up? I don't know, and I want to know so badly. But yes, that is my breakdown of the new Scarlet and Violet trailer. It was quick, it was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed. I can't wait for these games. Every time I see something, I get even more excited. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!